Hi, I'm Jessica Rudnicki with Reynolds & Reynolds, and you're listening to the Connected Podcast. You can watch or listen to new episodes on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify podcasts. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you hear to get a notification with each new episode. Today, I'm talking to Emily Weicker, the BDC Sales Manager here at Reynolds & Reynolds, about how to increase online payments. Let's get connected. Emily, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Jess. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we are definitely excited to have you because with the growth of online and contactless payments, businesses everywhere are providing efficiency and convenience to customers by adopting online payments, right? An online payment system. And a lot of dealers I've spoken with recently are offering this, but they're struggling to make people, aware of offering these online payment options. So with your expertise, I'd like to pick your brain a little bit. So with these dealers struggling, what advice would you give to those dealers?
Well, Jess, I'd start by stressing how important it is to get customers to pay online, especially in today's climate. But in order to get customers to pay online, dealers must first make customers aware that paying online is even an option. And this is where we often fell short. If we don't do this properly, we're not setting ourselves up for success.
Yes, so customer awareness obviously is huge, but with making customers aware that they even offer these options, where do dealers start?
That's a great question. If we want customers to utilize online payments, you need to set the stage before sending them a payment link. I don't know about you, Jess, but if I receive a link to pay when I'm not expecting it, I'm not necessarily jumping to click on that link, enter all of my credit card information, and utilizing this feature. So setting the stage is key, and there are a couple of different ways to do this. And it all comes down to starting with our service advisors, right? So we need to make sure that advisors are setting the expectation with their customers up front, that they'll be sending them a copy of their invoice via email once service is complete. And within that same email, there's going to be a link that they can use to pay online. This conversation should wrap up every write-up with every customer. And when advisors do this and they do it right, it's a great way to make sure that we're capturing accurate email addresses and phone number too, if customers prefer text message communication. This also is a way to tell customers that, hey, if you are going to do this, you can walk right up and we can get you checked out and out the door pretty quickly. The next thing that dealers can do to promote online payments is to do it visually. So we can post eye-catching signs around the dealership. The service drive and the waiting area are really great places to start to kind of catch the customer's eye while they're waiting on their vehicle to be completed. We can also use tent cards or small signs at advisor stations to let customers know that they have that pay online option. But we can also be proactive for the next time that the customer brings in their vehicle for service. We can do this by stapling a flyer explaining the online payment option and process to ROs or invoices so that the customers are aware for their next visit. Many customers are interested in paying online, but they are simply unaware that they can do so, and it's the dealer's job to bring about that awareness. And then one last point I'd like to make, we're seeing a lot of dealerships using express checkout lanes for customers who paid online. So some people are driven by incentives and time-based rewards. We know that. So setting up an express checkout lane so that customers who have paid online can come in and complete checkout in a matter of minutes is of huge benefit. Imagine having a waiting customer, seeing a line of customers waiting to pay, but also seeing somebody walk right in, speed up to the cashier desk, and check out within a matter of minutes. It's going to prompt them to ask how they can do the same thing.
Yeah, well, I can tell you from my own experience, being in a dealership or going in for service, if I were in the waiting area and there was a long line and I needed to check out and I saw someone, just in and out, I would want that option. I could definitely tell you that would be, online payment would be an option that I would personally do myself. Also, you mentioned, promoting online payment options, making sure that customers are aware, table tents, posters, things like that. Another area of opportunity there, I think, is having some sort of signage around the advisor's desk where if there are customers paying in line, they're seeing that signage and knowing, hey, online payments is an option, so the next time they come in, they know they don't have to wait in that line. So all great points that you mentioned, and places you can put things in, different types of materials you can put out there. Now, Emily, all dealerships are not going to be able to start doing this right away. So are there ways for them to kind of promote these online payment options with things that they maybe already have in the dealership?
That's a great point. The first thing that comes to mind is letting your other solutions work for you. It's that easy. We're all sending out service appointment reminders. So when we're doing this, let's encourage customers to pay online within that appointment reminder. So explain that online payment is an option, describe the process of how to do so, and the benefits of doing so. If your advisors haven't been able to get customers to pay online, maybe we could provide incentives. Maybe you could run a contest in your service department that rewards your service advisors based on the number of online payments that their customers make.
I love those ideas. We all love a good contest. I know I'm super competitive, and if somebody was like, hey, see if you can get 10 people to pay online today, I would be the first one trying to hit that number. So great idea.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I feel like if you can get, you can get your advisors and your employees excited about it, then automatically your customers will get excited about it too. But Emily, one question that came to mind with all of this is that I know some customers, people in general, are hesitant to pay online because they don't necessarily feel that it's maybe the most secure or the most safe option. So how do dealers combat those challenges?
I'm really glad that you brought that up. It's understandable for customers to think twice before paying online, and it may take some convincing to make sure that your customers are aware with paying online. So it's important to let them know that it's safe first and foremost. And we can do this by promoting the ways that their information is protected, such as the encryption of the card data and secure vaults that mask the card information from malware. And we can do this by displaying the security information in your store, maybe on the signs that you're going to post around the dealership or the flyers that you send home from customers. Either way, we need to make sure that customers are aware that it's safe.
Yes. And definitely there are tons of ways that you explained to our viewers today about ways to promote online payment options, promote that it's safe and secure. So obviously this is a really important part of the service checkout process. And when you combine that with the incentives for both customers and employees and getting them excited, I'm sure dealers will see, an increase in online payments. So thank you for sharing those tips. And Emily, before we wrap up today, is there anything else that you want to say to our viewers out there about online payments?
I'd like to just touch on making customers comfortable with online payments again really quickly. One thing that works really well is talking to customers about the Amazon experience, right? If customers are comfortable with storing their card information on Amazon, buy with one click, not even having to put that information in again, we can really draw a line and correlate that to what they can experience within the dealership and make it that much easy.
Wonderful point and awesome advice. Emily, thanks again so much for coming on the podcast today. I've enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you. You too.
Emily shared some great tips on how to increase your dealership's online payments. Before we hop off, don't forget, you can watch or listen to episodes of Connected on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to get notified every other Wednesday when new episodes are released. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks.